Welcome to the King of the Casuals, the podcast that plans to throw an overhand right through the heart of UFC299. Happening tomorrow, actually, in the sun-drenched, vice-infested streets of Miami. Amidst the chaos and fury, we dive headfirst into the savage ballet of bone and blood, where warriors clash in the octagon, battling for supremacy under the watchful eyes of gods and monsters. This is where the valiant meet the vicious. Perhaps Jorge Masvidal and Chael Sonnen will meet somewhere in a back alley. Anyway, it's a spectacle of violence so pure, it's almost poetic. So don't bounce just yet, because we're about to dive deep and dissect UFC 299, which could be the greatest card, maybe ever. We can argue that, though. Anyway, only the strongest will emerge from this one. It's a hurricane. Little pun intended on the Miami. But only a few will be crowned as kings amongst casuals. And with that, I remind you once, and only once every show, do not take any pills that didn't come to you by your doctor or your pharmacist, as 8 in 10 of them off the street contain lethal amounts of fentanyl. And the reason this podcast even exists and we're talking to you today is because Jack McCarthy, the one and the only, the great Jackie Mac forever, we lost him to a simple pill this big. It was supposed to be a Xanax, but it was not. It was a counterfeit killer. It was enough fentanyl to kill 4 grown men. And that's my only preaching for the day. Now let's get into the fights, and God bless Jack McCarthy. Let's bring in not 1, not 2, but 3 casual MFers, now scattered all over the United States and perhaps elsewhere in undisclosed locations. Here they are. Casual
in
Jack.
basements all over the country.
Casual Nate. And the one and the only casual fucking Josh. Now,
He
boys,
actually looks like he's in a closet.
well, that's been the story of his life, isn't it? He finally came out.
No, he's just recording from inside of it now.
Now we're just waiting for that Jesse guy that's always on fire for him to.
No,
Hard to find a quiet space.
But you don't know how to tell people to shut the front door.
Can you see my? Is it? Oh, wait, what?
You trimmed your beard.
Yeah, a
I
little.
mean, you know,
I got a new job, and it was.
and you can't look like you're from Dagestan.
It was suggested that maybe I trim it up, look a little more professional. But now that I got the job, I can just let it go again. Fuck it.
That a boy.
I don't think that's how that works.
Don't go changing. I shaved mine. Remember, I was like where maybe Jake is right now for a while, but I shaved mine down to like a 5 o'clock, a 2 o'clock shadow.
When did you have a beard? I've never seen you look like anything other than like a 13-year-old who got first hair on ball. Like, what are you talking about?
Whoa!
I gotta be honest. I like the reference to being young. I think that I'm the older here, but no, I've had a beard. Go back and look. Gray though.
He
So
put the onus on you to find.
He did.
I was gonna say it's like one of those guys who are like, yeah, Google it. It's
I don't have to prove myself.
fucking Google me. UFC 299. I think it's the best card I can, in my mind anyway, I can remember. And we've said that a lot, but when I look at the card, right, and I see that it's even on the prelims. I mean, there's some guys that would normally could headline cards, but you've got Peter Young and against Song Yadong. You've got Gilbert Burns, who I think still could win a championship against a really good dude from Australia, and Jack Maddalena. And then, of course, I think gonna potential fight of the night, Kevin Holland and Michael Venom Page. Page making his debut in the UFC. Always been a favorite of mine. Dustin Poirier against Benoit Saint Denis could be another banger. And then we have surprisingly, Sean O'Malley called out Cheeto Vera to gift him a shot at this after losing to him. But I get it. That shows balls in O'Malley.
I mean, he wants to get it back, right? He wants to get it back. That's a lot of
But
these fighters
he's
want
the
to do that.
champ, though. He's the
But
champ.
according-
If I'm him,
But also, according to O'Malley, he doesn't even count that as a loss. Like, if he's asked about it, he's like, "That's not real. It didn't happen." Like,
Yep.
he doesn't count it as a loss. So, I mean,
yeah, he's
did
got a
he
little
have to
bit of the
give
Nate
Cheeto-
Diaz syndrome.
Right? Did he have to give Cheeto this fight? No, but should he have? And is it going to be an amazing fight that people are interested in watching?
Yeah. Let's go.
Cheeto.
Let's get onto this card, shall we, boys?
Cheeto
Absolutely.
there. Whew.
All right. So the first fight, Peter Yan and Song Yongdong.
Song Yadong.
I love
I
that.
can always, I've missed you, misprint. You and Chael, you and Uncle Chael. I think Chael does it perfectly, just to because he wants to be above knowing somebody's name, or maybe he's got a little CTE. I'm not sure, but you just like to butcher the names. I think Song Yadong.
Yeah, that one.
It's fun to say his name a lot, especially in places that don't know the sport. Walk around the office. Song
Man,
Yadong.
I love a guy named Yadong.
Yeah,
Come
me
on now.
too. Exactly. So this fight is this is like, for me anyway, it's the Peter Yan needs to win this fight, even though he's an incredible fighter and a tough competitor. He's been on a fairly awful skid for a guy who is, I think, one of the better fighters in the division. But there is something said about luck.
Well, and also he's been going against Murderers Row. It's like
Yeah.
Sterling, Sandhagen, Sterling, O'Malley,
Yeah.
Yush.
Yeah.
Did you
So-
God, I don't fucking know.
Marab, just say Marab. It's much easier.
Murat, that's what I made that decision earlier. I don't even know I'm trying the last names.
Because we like hearing it.
Because it's some of the best parts of the show, even though there was one time once, but Jake was a man about it and actually made it an apology video, because Jake and I were so confident that it was that kid.
Rojas.
Yeah, we thought it was Rojas, but you were right.
Hey man, even a broken clock's right twice a day.
That's right.
Be there for like 3 hours.
At 11:11.
I know, right? But man, Jake, what do you think about this fight?
I hate seeing Jan go from where he was to where he's at right now. I don't know if it's a psychological thing or what, but I want to see him win this fight. I think he can win this fight, and I think he's good for the division, even at his age. You know what he's been going through. I think he's still good for the division, and he's one of the best. He's got some great boxing. He's got some great wrestling. He's fun to watch. He's been fun to watch for a while. I think if he comes out and he kind of puts it all back together, which is tough to do, but if he puts it all back together, he wins this fight, and I think he shows that he's still got it. He can still contend with some of the best people in the division.
Well said.
Yeah,
Jack-
I mean, I'm just looking at the odds. I mean, Peter Yan's the favorite here. In true casual fashion, I don't remember a lot of Yadong fights, so I'm gonna go with Yan.
It's on the dark web.
Oh God, that's good timing. Thank you, Josh. That's instant classic Josh. I was watching last week's fight and I could only think of Josh because Rosenstrike was fighting. I liked it. I'm gonna go with Rosenstrike because he's got strike in his name.
Now striking his name.
So yeah, Nate, when you were traveling around on the dark web, what did they say about Peter Young and Song Yadong's fight?
I mean, Yadong, he's gonna sling it, man. He's just gonna throw it around. So
There it is. He's gonna go back to his boy band, huh? That's it. All right. So
Yep.
are you predicting that Peter Young wins?
I am.
Okay.
I'm predicting that he wins, and I don't know. Let's just say a submission.
Oh God.
He's just making shit
Worst
up
fucking
now.
prediction I've ever heard.
Don't get me wrong.
Eggplant choke. It's the eggplant choke.
I don't think Jan is going to win this fight. I think Song Yadong is going to win the fight. I really do.
I do too.
But I want Jan to win because I think, like Nate, listen to Nate in true casual form. Who knows? You know, there aren't a lot of casuals out there that know
No.
Yadong for a reason,
Right.
at least so far.
I don't think there are hardcores that really know Yadong that well, but except for Jesse on Fire, because he's got Yadong in his name. Sorry,
That's a real problem.
I don't like a podcast about sports that looks like TMZ. It's like, you know what I mean? Cover the fights, not what they're doing outside of fighting.
Yeah.
It's like that kid who was a gossiper in school that you put in the locker, shut it, came back 2 days later just to make sure he was still alive.
What?
Yeah.
We went to different schools.
I was a little bit of a bully. I was a bully because I got bullied. I grew out of it. I grew out of it when guys started to get your size.
Hey, on the ticker down at the bottom, can you just put a running, like, we at King of the Casuals do not condone
all the things that I say?
Bullying.
No, it's going to say we, at King of the Casuals, do not condone the pussification of America.
Agreed.
I'm sorry. Is
I
anybody
think
tough
bring
anymore?
bullying back. I think we need to bring bullying back. Too many
Me
fucking
too.
weirdos there.
All right, we need to
agree.
definitely put down there. We do not believe anything that we say. Actually,
All right. Look, I think bullying's bad if you're bullying somebody who can't defend themselves. Right? I don't think cyberbullying. I think cyberbullying is the biggest wussy move ever because you're almost anonymous and not touchable, and you're behind a keyboard acting all tough, but yet that to me. But that does more damage, I think, to kids.
it does the most damage. It does the most damage. Probably has a bigger.
I know.
A bigger kill count.
Yeah.
So, Josh, what do you think about Peter Yan in this fight?
Thank you.
Is it? You guys keep saying Peter, but is it Peter? Or is it Piotr? Piotr.
Yeah,
I heard
it's Piotr.
It's Piotr, but Nate has us thinking about Yadong, and so now it's got to be Peter because Peter and Yadong go well together. These are the two biggest dicks in the UFC.
So, Piotr Yan, washed up, man. 3-fight losing streak. He's on his way out, bro. Yeah, he's coming. He's about to sling that dong, fucking Yadong with the win.
Wow. That was a misdirect. So, did I say who I thought was going to win? Because I think I did. I agreed with Jake. I think Song Yadong's got this one not because Piotr Yan is washed up, but because it's mental 90% of all sports and life, and I think it's not possible for him to. Well, it is possible, but he's lost like 4 in a row.
He's lost
3,
4 of the last 5.
Okay,
Right.
That's a lot, right? For a guy who was on top of the world. So I think he's talented as all get out, and he's a tough dude, and seems like a good guy outside of the cage. But I think he's mentally in a challenged place. How do you have confidence and not worry about losing again? But he might have just that kind of dig deep into the basement Balboa to make another Rocky.
Really?
He
Make
might be
another
able
run.
to comment.
Not
Might
It's
have-
MMA. Anything can
Hasn't.
happen.
True. But I do think that Song Yadong, I have seen him fight.
Yeah.
I think most of the fights, and he's freaking good.
He's got quick hands.
Yes. Yeah.
Jesus, would you guys get over it? Next fight.
I know. God,
And with a name like Yadong, you got to have good hands.
and it
All right,
rhymes.
next fight.